Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we will see default arguments in C++. In C++, we can use default arguments for the functions. We can call a function without specifying all the arguments, and this feature is provided only in C++, not in C. What are the default values we want to specify to function arguments? It must be specified when the function is declared. How the function is declared, how to use function prototype, that we have already seen in function prototype lecture. So, link of function prototype lecture is given in description box. Let us consider we are having one example. Float value. Value is my name of function. Float is return type. It has three parameters or three arguments. First is float. Second is integer. Third is float. Float p. Let us consider here this function I am using to calculate simple interest. In that, first parameter p, let us consider it is principal amount, n number of years, and r, this is rate of interest. So here for the rate of interest I have assigned a default value, that is 0.15. So as third argument having some default value which is specified in the function declaration, as here in this semicolon means it is function prototype or function declaration. So as third argument having some default value, we can say third argument is default argument for the function value. Providing default value for the argument, it is done just like assigning values to the variable or initializing variable. You can say data type argument name equal to value. If you observe this part only, it is just like variable initialization. If some function just like this having some default argument and we want to call this function, here it is shown function call. As the return type of this function is float, let us consider amount1 is some float variable which is used to capture the return value of this function. So amount1 equals to value in bracket 5000.0, that is float, comma 5. See here one argument is missing. I want to call this function value which has actually 3 arguments, but at the time of function call I am providing only 2 parameters, only 2 actual arguments. One argument is missing. So even though this is given, only 2 parameters are given, still it is called as legal or valid call for the function value. How it is done? So out of these 2 parameters, first parameter 5000.0 will assign to p in the, that is to the first function argument. 5 will get assigned to the second argument of the function value. As there is no third argument given, the default value of the argument r is taken, and that is 0.50. So here value function will use default value for third argument as it is not provided in the function call. So here for the rate of interest, default value is used, that is rate of interest is my default argument. Most of the times rate of interest will remain same for the particular duration of the time period. So we can keep it constant, or we can keep it not constant, we can keep it as default instead of giving the rate of interest again and again. For every function call we can keep some default value. If the new rate of interest we want to apply, we can still apply the new rate of interest. In that case this default value will have no effect. Just like this, amount 2 equals to value 5000.0, 3, 0.12. All three parameters are specified. That means 5000.0 it will assign to principal amount P. 3 it will assign to second argument N, that is total number of years, and 0.12 it will assign to R, that is rate of interest. So in this case, as all these three values are specified, there is no missing argument. So past values are considered, it will not use the default value. So that means even though the default value is specified for third argument, we can still use new value as usual, or if same value we want to have, no need to pass it again. In that case, like this, it will use the default value for third argument. Okay. So while using default arguments, there are some rules. So default arguments can be trailing only. It means only the trailing arguments can have default values. Means what? So if there are few examples given later where we will see what the trailing arguments means. So when there are more than one default values, it should be in the sequence from right to left. That means sequentially right to left we have to give default values. So here it should be values. So few examples. By these few examples it will be clear. So what is rule and how it works. In the first example, integer, that is return type of the function int, name of the function is suppose fun, int I, int float j equals to 2.2, int k equals to 4. So here this function return type is integer. It has 3 arguments. Out of that, trailing 2 arguments having some default value. K is trailing, then after that J is trailing, and both of these trailing arguments having default values. So it is from right to left. So this prototype of, or this type of declaration of default arguments are considered as legal. Now let us see the second example. So here again int function, int I equals to 5, float j equals to 7.4, int k equals to 3. 3 arguments are there, and all these 3 arguments having default values. So that means this is, you can say this is trailing k, then j, then I, and it is in the sequence from right to left. Sequentially from right to left all arguments have some default value. So this type of declaration or using default arguments in the function, it is also legal. We can write here legal. Now next example, in function and here it has again three parameters, int I equals to 2, float j, int k equals to 1. Out of three arguments, first argument having default value, second argument do not have default value, whereas third argument having default value. Okay, trailing argument having default value, but the sequence from right to left is essential. Third is having default value, middle not having default value, then first is having default value. The sequence is break over here. So sequentially from right to left, arguments should have default value like this. So in that case, if it is sequentially, then it's okay, but this sequence is break, middle argument do not have default value. So this type of declaration is not allowed, and so this is illegal. For next example, here again function having three parameters. Out of these three parameters, first argument having default value, second argument do not have default value, third argument do not have default value. That means out of these three, only first argument is default argument. It is not a trailing argument, it is preceding, you can say. So it is breaking the rule, it is not trailing argument. So this type of declaration is not allowed, it is considered as illegal. So why this rule is made? So when function, as we have already seen in function prototype, the relation between function prototype and the function call, when the function is get called, it check each and every argument with the function prototype. So whatever the values are given in the function call, each and every argument will get checked, will get compared with the function prototype. So if like this the situation is, first argument do not is having default value, second do not, third do not. So and we are calling, let us consider we are passing only two arguments like this. So actually I don't want to I'm not passing parameter, I don't want to pass parameter for the first argument, but as per the process of compiler, always the first parameter will get passed to the first argument, second to second, and if it is third, it will be given to third. Even though the first parameter, if suppose having default value and two argument I want to pass these two values, it will not happen like this. So first will be given to first always, second will be given to second always, and because of that it should be sequentially from right to left. So if this is the situation, in that case if I am passing two parameters, these two parameters at the time of function call will get assigned to I and j only, k will remain empty and it will throw an error at the time of compilation. Okay, got it? So now we will see one small code in C++ by using function prototype. So here already one program I have written. By using some function, here we are calculating the simple interest and we will print the maturity amount. So in main, I have declared one float, that is amount, just as we have just seen small example of value function. Same value function here I am using. For that the program is written. So amount float, float value here. This is my function prototype. Name of the function is float. Return type of the function is float. Name of the function is value. It has three parameters. First is float p. I am using this for principal amount. Int n. I am using this for number of years, that is time period. And float r. I am using this for the rate of interest, and this is my default argument which has default value as 0.15. So this is our function prototype. Function prototype. As I said, your default values should be given at the time of function declaration, that is in function prototype. I am using here one more function, that is show, void show cat c equal to, in single quote, asterisk sign. So first argument having default value as asterisk, second argument is of type integer and its default value is 40. Both of arguments having default values, both of these arguments are default arguments. This is also my function prototype. We are clearing screen. At the time of display, here we call show method. See, show method actually having two parameters. Both of these parameters having default values. So in function call, even though I am not giving any of the parameters, still it's okay, it is legal, it is acceptable, because when this call is given, default value of first parameter will be considered as asterisk and second parameter default value will be considered as 40, and with this default value it called the function show. So later we have defined this function show, we will see that. Okay, in amount we will amount equals to value 5000.0 comma 3. So here we are calling value function having three parameters. So I am passing only two parameters. Out of that, 5000.0 will get assigned to p, 3 will get assigned to n, and as third parameter is not passed, third argument is not given, it will take third parameter value as r equals to 0.15, that is default value here it will use. As per that, by using this value, it will call method, it will execute that method at the time of execution, and whatever the return value is there, it will store in amount. And in next line, we will print final amount by printing the value of amount. After that, here one more time we are calling show method. See here, we are passing now one parameter, that is equal sign. So this equal sign will pass to the first argument, that is to C. As second parameter is not given, second argument value will be considered as again 40. So here second parameter value will be considered as 40, that is default value. And with these two parameters, now it will execute the method whatever the code is written for that. Let us see what is the code for value. So, okay. Return type is float, value is method name, float P that is principal amount, int N that is number of years, float R that is rate of interest. Remember, here do not specify the default value at the time of function definition. Only in the function declaration you have to specify default values, not in function definition, right? Here required variables we have declared. Let us consider year of type integer having value 1. Float sum equals to, I am assigning value of P over here. We are creating one loop while year less than n, that means for n number of years we have to calculate the rate of interest and as per that the maturity amount. So sum equals to sum into 1 plus r, year equals to year plus 1. So initially value of sum is 5000.0. We will handle this into 1 plus r, r is 0.15, so 1 plus r into, that is 1.15, so 5000 into 1.15, that will be equals to 5750. So after that value of year will get increased by 1 and now it will become 2. So as 2 number of years, here we have passed 3, 2 is less than 3, so it will continue, condition is true, it will come inside the loop. Now last value of sum was 5750, in that again it will multiply 1 plus 0.15, that is 1.15, and the new value of sum is 6612.5. Again value of year will get increased by 1, so 2 plus 1, previous value of year is 2 plus 1, that is 3. So it will go back 3 less than equals to 3, n is 3. So condition is still true. Again it will come inside the loop. So last value of sum was 6612.5 into 1 plus r, that is 1 plus 0.15, that is 6612.5 into 1.115 equals to 7604.375. Year will get increased by 1, so 3 plus 1, that will be 4. It will go back. Now this time condition will become false, and whatever the last value of sum, that is 7604.375, this will get written. It will transfer this value to the amount when at the time of execution this line will get executed. So after that, okay, so this code as well as hand run we have seen for value. Now let us see show. So show having two parameters, first is character, second is integer. We have written here one for loop for int a equals to 1, a less than equals to I. So if for the first example, for first time when we call show, here was character, C is star asterisk and I is 40. Let us consider here our C is, here our C is asterisk and I is 40. So what will happen? Here A will go from 1 to equal to 40, and every time inside the for loop it brings the value of C. That means for during the execution of this for loop, that is 40 times it will execute this for loop and 40 times it will print asterisk sign on the same line. At the end of this for loop we have written /n, that means for the new line. So here when this line of code will get executed, as a result, on output screen, we will get 40 asterisk sign on same line and our cursor will be on the next line, and where for this line we will get output as final value equals to, what was that, 7604.375 I think. Let us see. Yes, 7604.375. So this line will get printed. After that again we call show method. So here only the difference is that our sign will get changed. So as a result of this show, when it calls the method show, instead of asterisk sign, only the difference is that it provide equal to sign, and as a result of this 40 equal to sign will come on display screen after this line. Okay, so this is expected output. This is our hand run. Let us save program, compile it and execute. See, as per the expectation, first line 40 asterisk signs, then final value 7604.375, our maturity amount for the principal amount 5,000 for 3 years with the interest 0.15. We are getting this maturity amount, and after that we are getting 40 equal to sign as a result of show equal to. Okay. So here in this code, I have written this prototype in main function. You can also write these prototypes outside the main function. Here also we can write. Just we copy and paste. I can show you. So I do copy. Here I paste. And here I do comment now, because otherwise it will consider as redeclaration. So okay, even though I am specifying prototype over here, remaining code is same. Still, okay, I save this. Still it is acceptable. There is no change in output also. Okay. So I again make it original. Okay, here I remove this now. Edit, cut. Okay. So if I don't want to use default value for rate of interest, instead of that I want to have some new rate of interest, still I can use same function. Here I add one line. I directly call function over here with new final value, I say equal to, I directly call here method value. I use 3000, 5 years, and rate of interest as 0.20. And again I save these changes, compile, and I execute. So with this new rate of interest, this is the new value 7464.375. 95961. This is my due result for the new time period or new rate of interest, whatever it is. Okay, thank you for watching. Keep watching my channel. Thank you.